after hours again at Price's Grocery. Price's Grocery located 5018 Rock Creek Church Road, Northeast Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. That's where we are. Close up at 12 midnight. It's 12:14 right now, so this is what goes on when the store closes, man. You know, if you're ever in business for yourself and you close, first thing you're gonna do, man, you're gonna, me personally, I'm gonna count those receipts, man, see what I made during the day. You know, I get a feel of how the day is gonna go. Kind of rainy, kind of gloomy today. You know, you usually make less money. Weather dictates how people move around, what they do, the activities. So I'm gonna get this thing done here, count it up, and find out what happened. What happened today? I didn't make any expenditures today. I spent $775 yesterday. Didn't make any expenditures today. I had market stuff yesterday. I had ice cream order came in. Didn't spend anything today. Just opened up and worked all day long. So. So far, I can look up there at my thing and it's like 0 people watching. 0 people. It's all right. It's all right because, you know, this is this time. Time is everything. And, you know, this is where I spend my time. So I'm going to film this live how I spend my time. See who's interested in Clinton Price and Price's Grocery. All right. Got one person popped up on my live. Welcome to Price's Grocery After Hours. I'm selling up my receipts. I'll be making a market list for tomorrow's product we're going to pick up. I've got no orders coming in tomorrow and Friday. Normally I have like 2 or 3 orders coming in on Friday. Won't have any this Friday. Didn't make any orders for that. Came and you left. Came in and you left. Now look at this little thing there. Okay. Came in and left. Okay. Again, this is Price's Grocery, Washington, D.C. After hours. Close up at 12 midnight. So I'm doing my selling up. I'll be doing my leisure. I'm making a market list for tomorrow, what kind of product I want to get and sell in here tomorrow. Usually my products are all consistent. They normally stay the same when we go and pick up supplies or we place orders, because the orders and supplies depend on your clientele. What your clientele, your customers want, and what you're going to get to sell. So I'm not going to have a bunch of stuff in inventory, looking real pretty and all that kind of stuff, and not selling. That's like setting money down on a table and just looking at it. So the same thing with inventory in the store. You know, you go into a store and they don't have a certain thing you want. You say, why don't they have that? Because nobody's buying it. If somebody's buying it, you're definitely going to get it because what's the sole purpose of business? To make a profit. Sole purpose of business is to make a profit. Okay. Even count the change. You know, the change I leave. I start off with $15 of mixed change in the cash register. You know, quarters, dimes, nickels, stuff like that, pennies. And then you get your total pure income. You got to go ahead and count the change up too. So count that change. You count credit card rung up, what you did in cash. Count all that. Count all that kind of stuff like that. Right, one person, I can dig it. I can dig it, kind of born. Okay, so we do the cash, credit, and the change count. What a better day than I thought, I'll tell you that. Much better. That's great. So I'll take this, and when you're in business, you want to have a ledger. A ledger could be any composition book like this. A ledger where you're going to basically have your ledger is you're going to have a photo month. We're in the month of June now. So I got it made out from 1st all the way to the 30th. I got it divided into the date of what you made, what the cost was, and the cost I got is split into these many categories. I got it split into beer, food, sodas, other tobacco, cigarettes, and other goods. Other goods. Other goods meaning like patent medicines, meaning like toilet paper, paper towels, meaning like bags, meaning like if you're buying pest control or you're buying dishwashing liquid or wash clothes with, anything you think about is other goods. Cigarettes, of course, we know cigarettes, right? Other tobacco stuff like the Uptown Funnel, things of that nature that people buy, all kinds of tobacco products and like that. And what's also listed on other tobaccos would be like tops or raw paper or hemp bamboo or classic bamboo or what other kind they want to have with their job. But I only carry a couple of ones that people really like. So again, you divide the cost into beer, food, sodas, other tobacco, cigarettes, and other goods. So today, we had no product come in the store today. We had a product come in the store yesterday with $775.98 came yesterday, none today. And today, even though the weather was kind of gloomy and so forth, today outdid yesterday as far as income, which is always good. It's always good. Me and my son work two shifts here. He worked the early shift today, which means he got off at like 5 o'clock, and I took it to 5 to midnight. So again, it's after hours. Closed up at 12 midnight. It's like 12:24 now. So I've completed the ledger. I've completed what income we made today. Nothing cost came in today. So this keeps everything exactly right, because the 20th of every month, which is tomorrow, we pay sales and use tax for the previous month. So the 20th day of June, I'm going to pay taxes for all of May. That's how it works. So now I isolate what we made in the credit card, and I take it and put it in a separate book. So even though the information goes to the bank, I can go online and pull it up. I'm old school, and I'm always used to doing things manually like this. So I'm always going to take this total we made here and credit cards. I'm going to put it in my book here. I'm going to put it in the book. And I'm going to put the day beside it, date, June 19, 2025. Well, me as a businessman, I prefer cash to credit cards or debit cards or Apple Pay and all that kind of stuff, because those ways to pay cost storing more money. That's why people have signs that have a sign up here saying $5 minimum. Because when you use a credit card, you use this thing here called the credit card. They got prices grocery on the credit card. When you use this kind of thing here, this company charges you a lease amount every month, automatic. Then they charge you 1.69% of whatever something costs. So if you buy this essential water right here, and it's $3.25, you're gonna pay them 1.69% of what that costs. And then just to swipe the card is something like 15 cents. So that's why it's $5 minimum. Somebody come in and buy something for 50 cents, and you're gonna swipe it 15 cents. It takes 1.69% off, and you end up losing money. So you save $5, but people act like they don't have any money, man. They come in, but when I see people riding these little scooters around here, they gotta have a credit card to get the little scooters and doing other things. Yeah. I'll offer you. I'll put a surcharge on you in a minute if you come in and spend under $5. If not, just spend over $5. Just disobey the store rules. That's all you gotta do. No problem, no sweat. Just do that. Okay. Equals. Okay.
That's the reason why not a single illegal alien was released into the interior of the United States in the month of May. And as a result, we now have a border that is reaching unprecedented levels of operational success. The efforts by President Trump to stop the illegal immigrant invasion and secure the border in this short amount of time represent one of the greatest achievements by a presidential administration in the history of our great country. With illegal entries being overwhelmingly halted, the Trump administration is dramatically ramping up efforts to arrest and deport all of the millions of criminals.
So took care of that thing again. Got online banking, but I really like to do things manually, so I make sure I look at my account every day and pretty see what it is. So we got two separate books. We got a book that I use for a ledger book, the book that I use for a bank accounting book. Very important in business. Try to stay on top of all your obligations, man, because they say the average business falls out. They open their doors, and 2 years they're out of business. But we've been in business here as a family 58 years. Me personally, myself, been in business for 40 years. 40 years. 40 years. Okay.
Low inflation and rising wages. Once the big beautiful bill is passed, continuing to push this critical legislation forward. The One Big Beautiful Bill will drive growth and supercharge the American economy. The Council of Economic Advisors found that the One Big Beautiful Bill will raise take-home pay by nearly $14,000 for a year for the average family of four. The CEA also found that the One Big Beautiful Bill will increase wages as much as $11,000 for the average worker in America. The One Big Beautiful Bill expands the child tax credit and makes it permanent for more than 40 million families with children. And the bill will deliver no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and substantial tax cuts for our incredible seniors. Simply put, the One Big Beautiful Bill is a massive win for middle-class Americans. With nearly 80 million Americans sent President Trump back to this White House, they were doing so expecting these popular policies to be enacted. Republicans in Congress have a mandate to deliver, and President Trump demands they send this historic bill to his desk for signature by Independence Day, July 4th. The American people are fully behind President Trump. According to brand new polling from Insider Advantage, a clear 54% majority of Americans approve of the job President Trump is doing. That's because this president is keeping his promises and taking action every day to improve their lives. And passing this bill will help fulfill a number of President Trump's core campaign promises. Now, regarding the ongoing situation in Iran, I know there has been a lot of speculation amongst all of you in the media regarding the president's decision-making and whether or not the United States will be directly involved. In light of that news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks." That's a quote directly from the president for all of you today. So we'll kick it off for questions here in our new media seat. We have Eli Lake from the Free Press. Anyone?
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
Free Press. The decision to extend the
Yeah.
You know, because the president put it out on his Truth Social today, he did sign an executive order to extend the TikTok ban for 90 days. So, in the effort to make it and
If I can get 1 million subscribers, leave me along the way, man. I miss 1,000 subscribers, be all 1 million subscribers, be like super. Say what's it? Say hi. Say hi. How you doing? Hi. What's going on out there? Hey, hey. Sorry, I'm read this stuff kind of late. Maybe people were gone, but I didn't see. I was doing my like little leisure book. I do leisure book every day. Got my call center, what I spend. I break down what I might spend money on. Would it be beer, cigarettes, other tobaccos, soda, other goods. So I can know exactly in a month what I spend on every single item that's in my store. Let's see what we got. What's crazy? What's the craziest after hours story you have? Wow. Man. Well, I have some pretty crazy after hours stories, but some of them you can't even say. But I guess one that I can say, crazy after hours story, was closed up a young kid from the neighborhood. He since passed away at the age of 29, but he must have been somewhere in the neighborhood of 11 years old. Somehow or another, don't understand how he did it. I remember opening my security door, going out, dump some trash, and coming back. And must have took me like 15 seconds. This little kid was in the store. Man, I told this little kid, when I saw him, I was so grateful that I knew the little kid, so grateful I didn't hurt the little kid or shoot the little kid. So grateful. I just told the little kid, I said, look, don't ever do that again. I said, if something happened to you, your parents be so sad, they be talking, they be angry at me, and I'll be looking like a bad guy. I said, whoa. Ever since that little fella did that's gone on probably like man. Because he passed away young at 29, and that must have been when he was 12. That's been, like I said, look how many years in between. 29, 12. That's been 17 years ago, that story. I've been in business for 40 years, man. So I've been in business for a long time. But that's about the craziest story that I can actually tell you. How could that happen? But when things like that happen, you just, you get more heightened in the way you think and the way you do things. And man, I lock everything up. Lock everything up. I got bars on everything, alarms, everything. I got everything, man, because I was pretty much secure when he did that then, but I said, man, I just went overboard. And I said, this is crazy. Because, you know, accidents can happen, and things happen to good or bad people, and I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to hurt nobody if they're a so-called bad person, or I don't hurt nobody if they're a good person. I don't want to hurt anybody, man. I want everybody to live a long, productive life. Let me see. So that's about the craziest story, one of the craziest stories that ever happened around here, which I thought really caught me off guard. Yes, indeed. So, that's that. So, good. Ask me some questions or something. So, basically, I stay open from 10 a.m. in the morning to 12 midnight every day except for Monday. I just started closing on Mondays in March of this year. It was 7 days a week for forever and a day. Just started closing up on Mondays. You know, take care, run other errands that left up to me to run now. You know, used to have to run so many errands, had somebody running errands for me, but you know, things change in life, and you gotta take upon those errands yourself. Man. So that's that. So who else in the chat? Any other questions somebody have out there for me? Anything you want to ask concerning getting in business, starting a business? Like my YouTube channel is, if you look at the description, it say I'm talking about reparations. I'm talking about having 3 or 4 streams of income. I'm talking about people getting in business, like self-employed, employ yourself, I always say. I talk about another type of way of income. They're having certain kind of businesses to branch things off. So I was really, when I first started my YouTube channel in 2021, I was really hoping I would be traveling around getting people in business, showing people how to run a business, showing people how to stay in business, showing people the mistakes not to make, giving them my 40 years or then probably 35 years of experience to help them through, you know. Whether it be like black folks, when I say stay black in America, or whether it be anybody, you know. Everybody who takes the leap to go into business, man, if you can help them out, help them. I mean, of course, black people have higher unemployment, lower home ownership, all that kind of stuff's against you. So self-employed for a black man or a black woman is a great thing to do. Self-employed, you can you know, you can write your own tickets. You can stack your money. You can invest your money properly. You can build that. You can get that home. Now, 75% of Americans became rich because of real estate. Real estate, man. How does that happen? This is how it happens. You start today. You don't have to start when I start. You start today, 2025. You go out and straight up purchase a home, which is hard to do because they're gonna look at your credit rating, your score. They're gonna look and see how bad it is, and the worse it is, the more penalties they want to put upon you. The higher interest rate they want to put on you, the higher down payment they want from you, everything like that. You know, when your credit rating is low. So if you're in that kind of situation, you might not have the money for a down payment. You know, you might can't make a payment because the interest rate's so high. So then you're sitting back saying, well, how am I going to get a piece of real estate? Can't afford it. Well, there's another option. There's a thing called tax auctions. There are people who own pieces of real estate, and maybe that person has passed away. They willed it to a family member or somebody, and they haven't paid their property taxes. Property taxes have to be paid, even if your house is paid off for, because property tax takes care of police, fire department, takes care of schools, takes care of picking up dead animals along the street, takes care of your sanitation. It pays for a rack of things, your property tax. So if you don't pay your property tax, your house can be auctioned off to the highest bidder. So that happens to people mostly who never ever bought a property, never had the responsibility of taking care of a property. And all of a sudden they got a property handed in their lap. They got a gift handed in their lap. And they got that gift and they don't know what to do with that gift. They don't know that, you got to put money aside in case you got a roof leak. They don't know you got to pay the water bill, the gas bill, the electricity bill. You might have a pest problem. You might have to pay a pest problem every now and then. You might have to secure your place up. Maybe your windows old. You might have to put new windows in. But still, you got a property probably worth, let's say a property worth $600,000 totally paid for, right? So what most people do, they get that house and they sell it. Let me sell this house right away, man, and get me. And when you sell it, well, if you go through a real estate agent, right? And they want to get 6% of your money. So you got it listed for $600,000. You got $600,000. This minus 6% from that. Now all of a sudden, the money that you thought you were going to see $600,000 is down to $564,000. It's still great because look. I know what to do here. I'll be right back. Right back.
For taxpaying citizens of those much-needed benefits, he wants to prioritize the sick, the needy, the poor in this country who deserve those benefits, not the 1.4 million illegal aliens who are receiving them. And he wants to make sure this one big beautiful bill kicks those illegal aliens off of this program to preserve it and protect it and strengthen it for the American people. He's been very clear in that message to his friends.
That's close. Y'all would call got Johnny about the cost, man. I got a little lot to talk to you. Yeah, that's my oldest son just came in, so that's another thing happens after hours, Son come visit and talk a little bit to me, which is great. Most time he comes and he just fall asleep because he works so hard. He does security. He's a personal trainer, so he trains like 4 or 5 people a day. So he come in usually beat. He had his dinner somewhere. Yeah. What's that? What's that? Man, what's going on? It's been 2 nights in a row. Cop. It's been 2 nights, man. Where you been? All right, but that's good, because I got my big boy right now. I know how you feel. I got my big man right here. He just walked in the door like 2 minutes ago. I know it's coming before you went to Mills again, man. You feel that belly up good? I know you're happy. Yeah, so thing right there. Yeah, so so what was I saying here? So that's what it is. So 75% of the people in America pay millionaires came in as real estate. Like I said, $600,000 house. Once you sell it and that real estate company gets that 6%, it's somewhere around what I said. Minus 6%. Yeah, we talking about $564,000 there. Okay, don't get happy yet, because what happens then is that you have to pay your closing cost fees, which means you got to pay taxes to the state in which you selling the house from. They're gonna take a big cut of money. But normally, even though it's a big cut of money, it's only about maybe 3 or 4%. So this is minus 4% for that. Minus 4%. So everybody's got their money now. You get yourself a check for $541,440. You're like, oh, look at this money I got. I never had this much money in my life, man. Oh, wow. So what you gonna do with it? If you never, first of all, you sold an investment for $600,000 that somebody else took a death mortgage out on for either 20 or 30 years, made those payments, which means whatever they bought the house at, say they bought the house 30 years ago for $300,000. They probably paid 3-4 times what the house is worth in interest and payments already. They paid for it, struggled, they maybe lived there maybe 10, 15 years, then passed away, And then you got it and you just blew it. Someone that died, 2 weeks after they died, you done sold the house gone. Instead of you living in that house, right? Or instead of you renting that house out and becoming a landlord and making residual money, setting up another stream of income for yourself, You just got all this money in your hand now. So what happens with people who get all this money in their hand for that's never had it before, they're gonna spend it pretty fast. That money is gonna slip out of hand like a kid in a candy store, like a store like mine. Which is pitiful because somebody slaved to get that stuff. Somebody was disciplined and self-control and paid up more. So okay, you got $541,400. Okay, say you got it. So what you gonna do? You're gonna get a fancy apartment somewhere. Maybe you're gonna get a rooftop apartment somewhere and spend maybe $4,000 a month. You're gonna live the high life. You're gonna go out and buy clothes, a new car. You're gonna hang out all night long doing stuff, and the money just gonna tick, 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 tock. And when that money ticks, tocks, because nothing's going to it, there's always something being taken away from it. Depending on how irresponsible you are, and how, and you let somebody maybe lead you and guide you into a dumb investment, and all of a sudden, the money's gone. And also, you can't forget this money, you're going to pay taxes on this $541,400. You're going to pay taxes on it. Uncle Sam's going to get his. It puts you in a whole nother bracket because you're not the homeowner that sold the house. You're somebody who was willed the house or given the house, and you sold it. You're going to have to pay big property tax. You might be 30-some% on that. So let's go ahead and take that. Let's go ahead and take another 30% off of this $541,400, which I forgot to mention. Minus 30%. Okay, now you're down to $379,008. Which, man, is a whole lot of money for somebody never had none. Still living a high life, aren't you? Even in that case. But you just got the big money now, man. So maybe you can clear up some bills, obligations, or maybe you got some student debt loans you can clear off. Maybe you owe some people some money. Maybe you're doing some debt consolidation. Maybe just pay it off. Maybe you get it all paid off and hold on to something. But I would say it's much better to have kept that property, to have rented that property off, rent that property out at a fair market value. Maybe put $24,000 in your pocket every year, $2,000 in your pocket every month. When you buy a property there and you rent it off, then when they always want to tell you to write stuff off. Well, if you're cutting the grass around that property, you're going to write the cutting grass off, the cost of that. If any kind of minor repairs is done, you have to write. You can write off the minor repairs of the place. If you got to replace carpet and do some painting to it, all that stuff. 100% write-off. You write all that stuff off. So you make that $24,000 if you rent it for $2,000 a month. You write off various things, but that's $24,000 that you can make. So that's $24,000 if you made that $24,000 over, say, a 10-year period of time, right? That's $240,000. And that property that you were going to sell for $60,000 in another 10 years, that property is worth maybe $725,000 now, worth more. And maybe you gain a little more knowledge, and if you decide to sell it, you won't hire a real estate company to sell it. You'll sell it yourself, and you'll save that big 6%, which is a huge cut of money, right? Because 6% is $6,000 for every $100,000. You might save that because you can pick up your own paperwork. At Office Depot and those places that still exist, you can pick up your own paperwork and write out a contract yourself and bypass a real estate agent. The most important thing a buyer needs is get a title company. Make sure that you really own the place. And the title company will look at them and say, yep, that guy owns the place. It was given to him, but he sure owns it. Then you sell it and avoid all those costs and everything. But the best thing, go ahead, is keep it and just have income all into the future, especially if you have children or, if you're offspring of children. You make money, man, forever with it. And then it's easier to borrow now. You're making money, you got money in the bank, your credit's good. Then you can go out and start investing even more real estate, depending on what you want to get. Or tax auctions, you get properties on the cheap that other people are not paying the property taxes on. So there's a whole lot of stuff you do when you get involved in real estate. So can't lose in the United States real estate. You can't lose being in business for yourself, self-employed. I mean, you can lose if you make some of the wrong moves. Let me tell you what some of the wrong moves would be. You're in business, right? A lot of people are thinking about ambiance. How does my business look? I want it to look real fancy. Like I want to be proud of it. Look at my business. So you overspend money in renovations that you shouldn't spend. The most important place to spend money is in inventory. Whatever business you're in, you gotta have inventory. So you don't worry so much about the ambiance. You worry about location, location, location more than ambiance. Then you worry about you're not worried about you take your inventory. You always pile up on inventory. Always in inventory. That's going to bring you more money back in return to inventory. So what's the next thing? Next thing you have to be concerned about business is that a lot of people want turnkey. You know what turnkey means to a lot of people? It means they're going to get a business, somebody's going to run it for them. I'm going to get a business, but I'm going to sit back and collect the money and somebody's going to run the business for me. They're going to run your ass right out of business because, you can rarely find people you can trust. If they start stealing money out your drawer, stealing money, stealing your inventory, going out the back door, and you see you're not making much money, and you can't meet your payroll, and can't pay your taxes, your obligations, your license, then what you do? You're out of business, man. That's why people don't last 2 or 3 years. They take a lump sum of money, they throw it into something, and then they don't run it. They want to let somebody else run it for them. Now, when you get these, when you save enough money so you get a fast food restaurant like a McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King or Checkers, those kind of things, then they train people to run those type of business. Everything is on a paper. You got a manager there. You know what inventory is coming in. You know what's selling. You know what they're throwing away. You got to fix it pretty much what the place is making. But I've been told. I was thinking about investing that kind of way. I was told that even a place running like Pistons, the actual money that the owner of the place might make is 50 grand a year on a fast food place. After they pay all the enormous things out, the insurance, the payroll, the inventory, they're keeping the stuff up to snuff, all that kind of stuff. They do all that kind of stuff out, they make about 50 grand. And that's kind of like, not have to be there every day. You pop by and check your place out. You look at the figures. You don't have to really go everywhere unless your figures start dropping or something like that. But mostly that's going to be you'll know if somebody's stealing from you or taking from you because you look at the inventory. They already tell you what you expected to make, what your area expected to make. They have their little test when they have the rubber like a rubber like string in the street. Every time you go over, it counts the cars coming this way, inbound and outbound. So they pretty much know what kind of money you're gonna make. So that's like that. But 50 grand, I was thinking they were making $1 million a year. 50 grand, man. That's not nothing to sneeze at. But I thought for all that responsibility, you make 200,000 or 300,000 or $1 million a year. But I guess not. You're grossing way over that, but you're not making it. You're not making it. So okay. So what else can I tell you? Like I said, it's after hours in here. So I've done my ledger. Ledger, a cellular book. I've done my banking, which you can also do online. I've done my banking. So I'm going to start making a market list what I need to pick up, or have one of my sons pick up something from the market for me. So give me a pen and some paper. So I'll start my market list. I'm gonna use this as market list. Now, another thing about business, right? So don't spend too much money on ambiance, making it look pretty. Focus on your inventory. Then your security. Depending on what kind of business you want, I mean, a head shop, a beauty shop, a barber shop, pretty much straightforward. You're not gonna worry about too much stuff. It's your labor, your skill, ability to be able to do the job right. It's gonna make you the money. So that's gonna be pretty good there. And if your business like mine, which is a convenience store, grocery store, convenience store, tend to have a lot of problems with shoplifting and breakages. So in this place here that I'm running, if you've never been here before, this is what it looks like. See this? See this right here? Oh, this right here. My entire business is behind plexiglass, which means I self-service the customer and been doing so for over 40 years now. Which means I'm not concerned about shoplifting. I'm not concerned about somebody breaking something. I'm not concerned about physical, somebody fighting, kind of like that. I'm not even concerned whenever I have to go and take a quick leak at the bathroom and come back. Right? That saves you a tremendous amount of time and takes a lot of stress away from you. Because that shoplifting and breaking through and stuff, man, can add up. Another thing that can put you out of business real fast, real quick. Another thing you don't want to do is you don't want to fall into the trap of giving out credit. Somebody come in with a good sob story. Somebody come in, oh, I'll be back to pay you. All that kind of stuff. You gotta don't fall for the okie doke. Don't extend yourself in credit, anything of that nature. People nickel and dime you all day long. They'll come in and say, oh, I'm short a quarter, I'm short 15 cents, I'm short 50 cents. And they have money in their pocket, but they don't want to put change in their pocket, so they'll tell you they'll pay you back. And they got the money right in their pocket. So I would just say no. I wouldn't look at it like, oh, you're being mean or, you're being hard to deal with. I mean, you're in business and your business has never had something saying at your forehead, I give you out credit whenever you ask for it on demand. Not the case. So you don't give out no credit. You don't do that. You don't get that. You don't give no stuff away either. Occasionally, stuff that goes out of date, I will give that stuff away out of date or throw it in the trash. But more than likely, I have pretty consistent that I can give stuff away to them. Like you have bread if it's 2 days old, you just go ahead and give it out. You go ahead and give it out to customers. Good. It's still fresh. Just the date on this date. Milk is a little. Milk, you got pour milk out more or less, it goes out of date. But some things, you can give to people when they go out of date. It won't make them sick or anything like that. And, give it to your regular customers. You don't give it to somebody that's popping out of the blue. What else we got here? Anybody got any questions for me here? Let me see. I don't see any other questions. I answered that craziest thing. What's up? Hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah, say hi. I'm still saying the same thing, the same message. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 messages here. Nothing's like flying down the screen. Like if I watch that young fella DDG or what's it, Casanet. Those man, that stuff moving so fast you can't even read it. I know they have a hard time reading that, but me is not the case right now. This live is my second live in a row today after hours. I found it a little easier. I might start setting up while the store is open and letting see the customers come in and going out, do something like that. But right now this is this. So let me see. What do I need tomorrow? I know somebody came in and bought all the bathroom tissue and the paper towels. So put that down here. Paper. I put 1 case of the paper towels and 1 case of the bathroom tissue, toilet paper. Need that. The energy drink Monster. Go ahead. See how much Monster I got. So, they only had one can of Monster left, so definitely need a Monster. And people want to stay woke. They're working hard. They sleepy. They're tired. So they look for something that's gonna keep them woke. That's gonna do that. The market. What I do with market now, I go to market, or like I said, get product from the market on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Usually the bulk of my orders come in on Friday. Like I said, which is early in the morning. Friday, I don't have any orders coming today, which is good. Had some big orders coming in last Friday during the course of the week, so I'm good on that type of inventory. So that's that. Again, paper towels, bathroom tissue, toilet paper, Monster. A bunch of these little wines that People love these little wines. These little wines right here. These little Sutter Home wines. Oh man, they love these little Sutter Home wines. So I'm gonna get Pink Moscato, which is a big seller, big fast seller. It's a sweet tasting wine. It's a wine more purchased by females. I'll get some white Zinfandel, 4-pack, 1 case. Let me get the Chardonnay is a good one too. Chardonnay. Chardonnay, one case of those. Let's see. I'll get the sweet red too. Sweet red's a pretty good seller. Again, this is going to be for Friday, so I will be getting some more for Saturday. So I try to mix it out and look see how stuff is going. So we got that in there. 2-liter Coke soda. I get 1 case of those. 2-liter Coke sodas. Look at this chip rack over here. See, we need a chip rack. So I got a pretty good supply of stuff there. Got plenty of sodas and stuff right there. Big chips right here. This is candy rack and things over here. Cigarettes. Pretty empty up here. Got maybe fill it with some more Mike and Ice or something like that. Mike and Ike's. Candy bars look pretty good. Cakes look pretty good as well too. So think about that. Oh, I gotta get some shows. I ran out of shows. I definitely want to get the shows up in here. I want to get the shows up here, so I gotta put down show. I put down show silver and show black natural. 1 case each. And Mike and Ike's. 4 kinds. 4 kinds, Mike and Ike's. And cakes look pretty good. I guess I get some Oreo cookies. Oreo cookies and some Ritz crackers. And Chips Ahoy. I'll get those. The narrow skinny box ones, these sell pretty good. Like the Chips Ahoy, Ritz, and the Oreo cookies. The box go beside those Mike and Ike's up there. These chips over here. These Takis are a pretty big seller here. So I'm gonna get the Takis Blue. Takis Blue sells pretty good too. I'm out of that. So your Takis Blue. And sour cream, barbecue. Yeah, so we on that. I'll get a large bag of Doritos nacho cheese. That normally is a really good seller there as well. Nacho cheese. So, we also ran out of whole milk. I don't get no 2 or 1% milk or skim milk. I only get whole milk. So I'm gonna get some half a gallons of whole milk. Yeah, get that. And I got some plastic plates already. I got some plastic cups. Got trash bags. Got plenty of sugar, plenty of salt, plenty of flour, stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. So you need a tremendous amount of stuff. tomorrow. That'll be pretty good. It'll be pretty good for that. Let's see. The wheels right there. Yep. So I don't see a great deal of stuff. The inventory still looks pretty good. Turn around and show you kind of like inventory here. Looks pretty good on inventory. Of course, that's the trash. I had to take out the trash can at night, clean up the trash. Inventory looks pretty good. Got stuff over here, plenty of water. Got a bunch of little sodas right here, a bunch of like cut water and stuff. Down here, you know, chips right here. And inventory, the small chips and things right here. And we got a rack of sodas and things. Juices and waters and stuff going on. Yeah, pretty good inventory. This is my son right there, chilling on the sofa right there. Yeah, so we you know, we got like I said, protected plastic glass. We got like a sofa back there, watch TV, chill out, eat sometime, and turn on back there. Have a kind of a good time, man. And kind of set the operation the way we want it, so we don't have like I said, customers don't come back here, so they got a small area out here where they come in. I think I showed this once before. Those are the clothes I'm giving away right there, so people come in and take those free clothes. Instead of me, I'm taking a number of clothes to the Goodwill. But you can't do too much tax deduction on Goodwill, so. Yeah, see how it looks out here? This is the counter people actually come in. They come in right here and get weighted onto that wheel, so they stand right here and order everything. There's ice cream on the wall over there. Yeah. I keep my ice cream in 2 places. This is one of the places I keep a bunch of ice cream at. You know, got the cherry, Philadelphia ice, the mango, the blueberry, got sandwich ice cream, Snickers bar, Spider-Man, SpongeBob, Dibs, big sandwich ice cream, small sandwich ice creams, you know, pints of ice cream, cherry sundaes, chocolate sundaes, all kind of stuff they get like that. So constantly giving that kind of vibe right there. And so I'm thinking that my market list is pretty well knocked out, man. Pretty well knocked out. Oh, I gotta get some Guinness Stout. God, this guy been hauling about Guinness Stout. I normally have Guinness Stout, but Guinness Stout is a dark colored beer. It's kind of strong. A lot of people don't really have a taste for it, but some people will just love it to death. Some will I'm gonna get 1 case of Guinness Stout. For those customers come in and love that. So all my Arizonas are good, my sodas are good, like I said, the waters are good. I got the essential water, Niagara water, all that's good. Like I said, I didn't have to place another beer order because beer order last week is still great right now. And that's gonna be pretty much it. Which is good. It's kind of good. So I mean, so I had to run down my market list again. I got a case of paper towels, case of toilet paper, case of Monster, the 4-pack wines. Sutter Homes, they got a case of Pink Moscato, a case of White Zinfandel, a case of Chardonnay, and a case of Sweet Red. Got 1 case of 2-liter Cokes. The Show Silver and Show Black Natural got 1 each. For Mike and Ike's, got 4 kinds of Mike and Ike's. The Neuro boxes of cookies or crackers, I got Neuro box of 1 Oreo, 1 Ritz, 1 Chips Ahoy. Got that Guinness Stout I just put there last, and I got a half a gallon of milks, and I got the Blue Takis and the Nacho Cheese large bag of Doritos. Got that. So looking pretty good. My change looks pretty good, so a lot of times people tend to ask for quarters and stuff like that during the weekend. Most of the time I say no, because you deplete yourself with your ones and your quarters, man. You have a hard time doing business up here. So you gotta keep that on hand, and you're not a laundromat, so can't feel responsible when people don't have their quarters and things like that. When I do order quarters, sometimes I keep some customers in mind who, like again, regular customers, and I might have a couple of $10 rolls of quarters for some good customers, and the rest of it to make it through the weekend, things of that nature. So, yeah. All right. What we got? Anybody else any questions? What's that? Fact, soccer. Yeah, so we're talking about soccer, Ronaldo. Yeah, soccer is a good sport. The world loves soccer. It's number one sport in the world. United States is like basketball and football and baseball, but number one sport in the world, I think, is soccer. The second number one sport in the world is cricket, because India is one of the most populous nations in the world. Of course, they love cricket, and then you got like soccer, the world's biggest sport. So those are gonna be big ones they're gonna be in. So I take these same things and I estimate my mind what my order is going to be in the morning. So I figure I'll start off the top, bottom, paper towel. I say,
For Israel and USA for Southern region, all of those are really, really bad options. And everyone's looking at this. It's like, if you're going to attack, when? And they're looking at now as opposed to, say, 3 months from now. That's where I think a lot of this thinking is, if we're going to do something decisively, kinetically, to take out that site, now's probably the best time. However, I can point out, going in there and doing the airstrike may not be the panacea that a lot of people think. There's a lot of other things that have to be done. So that's one of the things we're weighing, which is, okay, the day after, how do we make sure they absolutely never develop a nuclear device down the road? And I'm sure that's a lively discussion in the White House.
Yeah, because you are hearing from some, especially on Capitol Hill, that this
yeah,
would essentially
I estimate my order tomorrow being about
able to produce
$491 is the estimation. You always want to estimate what stuff going to cost, man. It just make things much better and clearer for you. So so we do check is the best thing to do. You take a check as long as you're in good standings with your warehouses and places you shop with. They'll take your check every time, take your bill check every time. So you know it's gonna be about $491.07 I estimate. So cut a check for $495 should cover everything I'm gonna need tomorrow. And again, I have to do the same thing again on Saturday, because go to market on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And other miscellaneous orders and stuff coming usually during the week, depending on when I order. I order a big order from Rock Creek, or a big order from Capitol Hill, or Premium Distributor, or ice cream distributor place, or anybody else. They're gonna come in during the course of the week. So this is headed toward the weekend now, and these items right here should just be they're gonna be things that's needed, things that actually sold out. So it's gonna be good choices of things to get. Good choice of things to get. So that's basically how it's gonna be. And again, like I said, in business, you don't really get a bunch of stuff in your place that's that's not gonna sell, man. You get what's gonna sell. You don't try to make something look a certain way. You're not trying to show off and make somebody think something different than what it is. You just get what the customer's gonna buy. Now, have customers come in and ask for, say, people come and ask for a Miller draft beer. Miller draft beer used to sell good in here 20 years ago. Now it's basically people buying Miller Lite, not even buying Miller regular, just buying Miller Lite. So I'm sticking with Miller Lite. I don't carry a lot of items I know are gonna sell. So instead of having a Miller Draft, Miller Highlight, and Miller Lite, I just got Miller Lite. I'm sticking with that. And Corona is good in the 24-ounce bottles, and the 24-ounce size bottles is good. I don't carry the cans in Corona. I only carry the bottles. Now the Modelo, which is the biggest beer selling now, I carry those in the cans and the bottles. It's the biggest selling beer in the Metropolitan DMV now in Washington D.C. Biggest seller in Washington D.C. too. Now the other beers are extremely good. I'm in Ward 5, so I can sell single serving beers. A lot of other places in D.C. How the law split them out. Some of them can't sell single beers. They only sell 6-packs, but I can sell single beers. So people like a lot of single 24-ounce cans of Budweiser, single 24-ounce cans of 211. They like single 24-ounce cans of Bud Ice, Bud Regular, and Bud Light. And they like the Coors Light, stuff like that. They like the big cans. Those are single. So they come in, buy one big can and walk with it. They don't need a 6-pack. So I find here that the majority, the 90% of my sales are going to be big, single 24-ounce cans of beers. If they're selling the 6-packs, it's going to be in the Modelo, the Heineken, and the Corona. Other things going to be the big singles. Most people are looking at this to take care of their problem now, their thirst problem now. They're not looking to buy, they buy themselves, and now 5 or 6 guys together, they buy themselves. So they looking for something to take care of their own needs. as well as the females, same thing. They want something to take care of their own needs. So, yeah, that's about that. Um, in here, I kind of, yeah, I pretty much stay away from fresh vegetables and fruits. Stay away from them because you lose money on every time. They perish 2 or 3 days. They're gone. You got to get rid of them. So no sense me having those things in here. Now, I have from time to time someone says, "Oh, can you get me a whole case of oranges? Can you give me a whole case of bananas? Can you give me a whole case of potatoes?" Yeah, I can get you a whole case of all that stuff within 24 hours. You come in on a Wednesday morning, I'll have it for you on Thursday. I can do that. I can work with you and do that. I mean, I don't even take the money up front, but I can do that. I have access to all that kind of thing to sell. But me personally here, I know that these things spoil very fast and they don't sell very good. They sell very fast, and then I'm not competing with large scale supermarkets. I'm just a smaller convenience store. Just been in for a long time because I've done things right. And I learned from my father. He figured 67 to 80 to 85. That's a long time you sit and learn. I'm born in '59, so I'm 65 now. So a long time to learn. So 40 on my own and 18 with my mom and dad. Gives you a lot of experience. My parents were from the country, man. My father was from North Carolina, mother from South Carolina. As you know, country people, they work hard. Back in the day, I'm born in '59. My father was born in, my dad born 23, mother born in 21. So they had farms, man. They worked hard labor. They came to the city. Just working in the city, man, is a cakewalk for them. Real easy work for them. Called easy work, city work. So they took care of this stuff pretty easily. So yeah, that's why the thing run. So yep. So yeah. That's about all I can that's all I can say. Try to give a little lessons whenever I go online. Use my years of experience to help somebody out. So again, if you've been with me the whole time, close up, you sweep and you clean up and you stock up and you put your trash and you wrap your trash up. You take care of your leisure. See what you made during the day, what you spent, and do your regular little banking stuff on a book as well as online. Because on a book, you can look at it and pull up any time. So throwing something online, you pull the book up. You make your market lists for the next day. That's how you do. That's how you do. Blessing for me being here now, and I don't have to drive home. I can walk right up the steps. I mean, this is really one of the sweetest operations you could have. This is one of those buildings in DC where it's residential on the top floor, commercial on the first floor. So when I finish doing what I'm doing here, I don't have to get in a car and travel nowhere. I'm not spending any money on miles on a car, gas, oil, working, nothing. I'm walking right upstairs, cutting my AC on if it's hot, cutting my heat on if it's cold, getting my nice big comfortable bed, and get my sleep in, set my alarms for down here and so forth, set my stuff straight, and get ready for tomorrow. Man, which is an extreme blessing to be in a situation like that, man. It's an extreme blessing. You can work and own your own place, and you don't have to use that travel thing. A lot of people, I see coming by my store in the day, I see North Capitol Street full of people, Fort Totten full of people, Riggs Road full of people trying to go to work downtown. Man, I'm glad I've never been counted amongst them. Again, I've been in business, man, since I've been 24, 65. Never had to worry about rush hour traffic. And now this last year or so here, I just, living right upstairs now. Before I was living right down the street, 2 blocks of walk up here. But, yeah, man, that transportation thing is great when you don't got to waste time traveling and getting in traffic, man. Just a headache. You're stressed before you can get to your location. People dipping and diving out of you and stuff like that. So just a kind of strain like that, man. But, yeah, that's that. So, got a few things. I pretty much took everything I had to take care of today. Everything I had to take care of, I've taken care of after hours. So you figure, it took me closed up at 12 midnight. You figure it's 1:19 a.m. in the morning on Friday. It took me an hour and 19 minutes to cover everything I want to cover. I mopped out earlier today. Got the mopping done earlier today, so I didn't have to do that. I didn't film that. So that's gonna be it. So I don't know. What am I gonna do now? I got this markers I'm gonna put right here. Have that thing done. Put my ledger book and my calculator. You know, the old school calculator. You ever seen an old school calculator like this? You know how this thing look, man. Back and front. You know this look. This calculator right here. I've never ever had to put a battery in. It's got a little solar thing at the top right up there. They don't make them like this no more. Little solar thing, so if it touches the light, it cuts on. I've had this thing for 20 years and never put a battery in it in any type at all. It works totally off that little solar band right here. That little solar band right there. Imagine that, man. This thing is paid 1,000 times. God dang. You know, and you know, so let's get. I'm gonna put this stuff up. So what's going on? Bringing them up on here. What's that? Reconnecting. Yeah, I'm reconnecting, man. My daughter sent me some pictures. Sent me some pictures. I don't know how to keep it live. I want to check the pictures out. She sent me some on Messenger. Son, Danae, 3 messages. I said, man, I gotta see what's going on, man. It's 1 something in the morning. It might be an emergency. I don't know, see everything good. They sent me some pictures of me and my wife back in 2019 doing yard work out there in Maryland. Home we had out there. My wife, of course, my wife passed away March the 19th of this year. Been married for 41 years, almost 42. What a tremendous loss in my life. That's my baby gone, man. Wasn't expecting her to go. She was perfectly healthy. I don't know how it happened. Haven't got the autopsy paper results yet, but healthy and strong on the 18th, running around laughing and talking. Set an alarm clock for the 19th, March 19th to get up and go to a tax appointment. And woke up and passed away. Called the ambulance. They told me to do compressions on my wife. No compressions. I'm praying for her. They come in and do the little thing. And time we get to the hospital, since my wife passed away. Now, we're not young folks, but my wife 2 years older than me. She was 67, 65. But Lord, I thought that woman lived to be 90. I really did. Healthy and strong, you know, didn't smoke, didn't drink, didn't all that kind of stuff, didn't drug, and all that kind of stuff. Man. Gave me 4 beautiful children. Man, oh man. That's why I'm here doing this live right here. Give me something to drink. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Give me the Sprite soda here. I like Sprite sodas. Sprite soda. Give me the Sprite soda, man. Come on, Sprite soda. Oh, look at that. Now I get a paper towel. Had it in the freezer so it get kind of cold. And I open it up and fluid dripping all over the place. Man, that pressure that builds up there, that acid in there, that pressure builds up kind of strong there. Maybe on top right there. I'm gonna wipe the counter down here a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Give me some Lay's barbecue potato chips. Yeah. Yeah. That's that, son. No, his barbecue pretty good. Since I lost my baby. Since I lost my baby. I've been so sad. Oh, you know what? You know what? I was gonna make a YouTube video. Author. So 19 days early in 20 right now. June 10th, right? June 10th. Holiday. First holiday since the Martin King holiday. June 10th. MLK Jr. First holiday was MLK Jr. Why do we fight for holidays? Like June 10th. Like it's some kind of a... June 10th stands for 2 extra years in slavery that Black Americans should not have spent. Because down there in Texas and areas like that, Texas and probably Oklahoma and some other parts of the country out there, didn't let the news come through that slavery was over. They know all those political figures, everybody's ahead of something new, everything going in the country, new slavery was over with, but decided to not give the word to those, millions of people still in slavery, millions and millions of people still in slavery, and keep it going on. You got a holiday celebrating somebody dogging you and putting you in and having you in slavery 2 years longer than you should have been in slavery. And during that period of time, the history tells you that there's a big exodus of black people going to Mexico. Mexico welcomed black people, black slaves in there and abolished slavery. You have a lot of black Mexicans, black Mexicans. Because of that, why celebrate a horrible thing like that? Why even make it a holiday? Shouldn't the people down there be asking for money from the local and state governments who at the time knew slavery was over with, knew it was over with, and sure enough kept you slaves for 2 years? You imagine some people who died in slavery and never got their freedom because of that 2-year extension. Some people never saw themselves free, never could walk up that plantation, never could try to do something for themselves before they left this earth. May have prayed and prayed for freedom and slavery, and it never happened. That's a horrible thing, man. So see people marching around and they talking about what they're doing and June 10th, doing little dances. Never quite get the true understanding of it. The true understanding of it is a holiday can never replace the 2 years of slavery that so many people worked. Never replace it. Like we as black Americans haven't got reparations. Now to this very day, talk about it, haven't got it. And this June 10th thing, give them a holiday. Don't give them no money, give them a holiday. Saddest thing y'all want us to, saddest thing y'all want to talk about. So I just leave it at that, man. I think it's so sad. This is my opinion, Everybody got it. Maybe some people happy they got a day off, and that day off go to everybody. Happy got a day off, man, but you ain't getting no money for it. I'm a businessman. I think about money all the time. Wow. June 10th. Sad. All the areas, so like I said, you haven't got reparations. Maybe in all the areas down there, that part of the United States, and people slavery, and all those black people should get a check for $100 every June 10th. Everybody in your family still living. You got 10 people in your family still living, 10 checks for $100. forever. You die. And that way they look at Juneteenth won't be a joke to non black people. It'd be, oh man, they getting $100. That person get $100. They can get $100 10 years, $100 20 years. You know, that'd be something. Yeah, that'd be something me to talk about. Let me say, yeah, man, they getting paid though. Yeah, Juneteenth, they getting paid. Wow. We'll talk about reparation on my description. I think it's somewhere around $206,000 per person. You know, man, we just passing away, back and forth. You know, passing away. I saw my wife. Just gotten that and she's gone. My mom, my daddy gone. Two of my brothers gone. You know. I didn't figure out a way. I really nobody else to figure out a way. Yeah. Well, they still talking about ain't paid black people reparations. The government will go bankrupt. The United States has been in a major war. 92% of its existence. They've been fighting somebody. Been money on military, equipment, army. People dying all throughout creation. Got black people forced Revolutionary War. They gave their freedom way before emancipation of Lincoln. Part of 6,000 or 7,000 free black men before they even did that thing in 1964. The country had categories, man. Levels in this place. Levels. Levels. Oh, well, huh? Well, maybe there's something. Yeah, this is bad. I don't see nobody talking. I don't see no words down there. I don't see no words down there. I'll tell you that. Still with my ring right there, man. My wife really, you know, I'm a widower, whatever we call it. Widower, man's a widower. Well, my wife always makes sure I wear my ring, man. I would only forget it, man, maybe once every 5 or 6 months time. You would take a shower, you leave it sitting somewhere. You come out of nowhere with that ring on. Yeah, man, my wife loves me, man. I sure love her. Goodness gracious. Yes, real.
So I'm curious too.
Well,
We have now a 2-week, and the way
very
the
well.
White House put it is that President Trump says within 2 weeks he will announce how the U.S. will be involved in the conflict. You've been following
Man,
so closely for so long.
I still hard to understand
What can be
how
done
people
in 2 weeks' time?
meet somebody they love,
Is there a pressure
get married, then all of a sudden, They say because of money, infidelity, sickness, kick them to the curb. Kick them to the curb, man. You know, the person that you figure you're gonna go to your life with, the person you figure that lay their life down for you. Just break up. 50% of marriages in America just break up. Talking about this business. Don't want to see the person more. Can't stand them. My wife got married in 1983. She passed away in 2025. Miss every day. Every day I miss her. I'm so blessed to even had a relationship like that, you know? These other people who don't value nothing like that, man. Not really people who have children, just abandoning children, don't see them, man. You got 1% of marriages where people just walk away. They'll never get official, get divorced, and walk away. Still married and walk around, living this like never had a wife. Man, boy, I enjoy my wife all the time. All the time, man. All the time. What a woman. What a woman. You know, 2019, during part of that pandemic thing, you know, that COVID-19. Man, my wife nursed me back to health. I didn't go to the hospital, man. I was sick. She came and bought me medications to, you know, break down the cold. You know, mostly that stuff have your chest rattling. It'd be like thick cold in your chest. You breathe it, rattling, man, rattling. As long as it's rattling, you still some oxygen so you can still live. You know, don't block it all the way. And man, she would take care of me, man. 3 days in a row. Yeah, 3 days in a row, thing cut through me. I was all right. You know, it broke off. Whatever had to happen, happened. I wasn't fatigued and exhausted no more. My breathing came back to normal, man. I was like, man, I was pretty much back. I was pretty much 60% back, man. And 4 to 7 days ago, I was 100% back. I just got a loving wife, man, looking after me. I was like, 2 is always better than 1. 2019, man. She went through the pandemic, didn't get no sickness, no nothing, rolled right through it. Wow. Here I am sitting here and she's gone. Never known life, man. It's appointed a man and woman or be married and wants to die. I mean, wants to be born and to die, but yeah, death, man. I've been rebuking death ever since my wife passed away. Just rebuking the name of Jesus Christ. You know, God to give us a heads up on what's going to happen. I'm going to be so in the blank, so in the unknown when something going to happen. Sad stuff, man. Yeah. But I should be grateful. I shouldn't be bitter. I should be grateful that God gave me such a wonderful woman for so many years. You know, which I'm extremely grateful. But I guess, you know, God say take everything to him in prayer. I take every single thing to him in prayer. Believe me. I talk to God, man. I pray. I talk and I praise him. You know, when my dad died in 2005, it's 2025. He died in 2005. When I first had my kids, the first son was born in 88, daughter 89, daughter 90, son 93. He said, the only thing I expect from you, son, is the same thing I did for y'all. Take care and love your children, you know? You know, I understand married, I was still part of it. My father was married, my wife, my mother, until death came apart too. Take care of your children. That would put pride and joy in his heart, in his mind. So I did that thing, man. Did that thing. Youngest son, 32, man. Did that. It's just the completion of a thing of sorts, you know. We're here in this business right here, you know. Had offers to sell it in 2017 and 2019. Couldn't make real good money to sell it. I don't know how the position might have put me, my wife, and then, but I keep thinking that maybe it's, maybe it might have, maybe it might have extended her life. I don't know. I mean, because we was 3 of us working there before that, and now there's 2, me and my son. And we're pretty beat. That's why we close on Mondays now. We put a lot of hours in the place. 10 to midnight, 6 days a week is a bunch of hours. So, but maybe that would have done something. I don't know. You get a lot of people indirectly want to be enemies of you. Thinking you're married, you're so happy, you got a business. You want to try to bring some aggravation into your life. And believe me, they can bring aggravation sometimes. So you try to defeat that. And just keep on moving on and going. It's strange now, I'm like at war by myself. You have your wife beside you. 2 of y'all against the world. You can conquer anything. Man's one, me against the world. So I got to think of the best things for my adult kids I could do. I want to be able to make wise decisions. So whatever decision I make now, extend into the future as a wise decision and help them out until their lives reach their courses. Just don't know. Just trust in God. It's always on my, I do a sermon every Sunday on my YouTube page, Stay Black in America. The thing I like to say, man, is that, heaven is a free gift. Free. The reason why it's free, number one, it says that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Whoever believes on him should never die but have everlasting life. Jesus came and born in this world as a baby, lived with 33 or something, crucified, died for the sins of the entire world. By him doing so, if you accept Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior, repent of your sins, you go to heaven, free gift. No works, no other effort of you, just that belief in Christ and forgiveness of sins. Your life is never going to be perfect. You're never going to be a perfect individual. You get better and better every year because Christ comes and lives in you. The Son of God lives in you. But it's like the real insurance policy that comes through for you. Because, a lot of insurance policies, when everything hits the fan, especially down in Florida, they don't pay, they just leave town. You don't get nothing for it. All the money you pay, you don't get nothing for it, they leave town. But this insurance policy that God has given us to His precious Son, Jesus Christ, is going to be paid in full. When your physical body dies, your immortal soul goes to heaven and not hell. Because the Spirit made the physical. No. God is the Spirit, and they that worship Him worship in the Spirit and truth. The Spirit made this physical world. God has in that Bible somewhere. He doesn't get his number amongst human beings that He'll take a tree and carve a man or woman out of a tree and blow the breath of air into them. Shouldn't laugh at that. You know why you should laugh at that? Because we as humans breathe out carbon dioxide, which trees breathe in. And trees throw off oxygen, which we breathe to live. So it's not far-fetched to think about it like that. It's pretty much true. So come as you are, man. Never gonna be perfect. You make that moving decision. Don't be concerned about your flaws or what you're doing wrong, because that's what the devil wants you to be. He wants you to be concerned about your flaws and do wrong, and never accept Christ as your Lord and Savior, repent of your sins, and go to hell with Him. Because Him and His followers cast out of heaven like lightning down to the earth. Because that devil, Lucifer, whatever his name is, he thought he could have God, the Creator, bend down and worship Him. So he was not only one of the beautiful angel in heaven, he was also insane, made perfect, and became insane. Absolutely insane. Yep. And he waits for hell, and his only reward is trying to make as many human beings go to hell with him as possible. Because we creation that God so loved, God so loved the world. Wow. Pitiful, man. Yep. I always like to give you that. Give you salvation, give you life everlasting. A lot of churches not going to talk much about it. They're going to go into stories or make you laugh about something or joke about something. But The whole purpose of church and the gospel is that so you can gain salvation by your faith and believing in Jesus Christ and God. You gain salvation by faith, and you pray, you come to God in prayer, and God answers your prayers, He does things for you. I guess amongst millions of Americans suffer from acid reflux, and I pray that God will heal me of that and heal me of that miraculously. Acid reflux, those other things that suffer. You know, when these things are, you heal from these things, sometimes you don't even remember them. Well, that's a reflux. Oh, and sleep apnea. You know, sleep apnea must. You can't keep waking up at night when you're sleeping and carrying on. You can't get good rest and sleep. Heal me both of those crushing things, man. It was just, to me, it's just so miraculous and wonderful because not only do I believe and apply faith, that faith has caused me to be healed miraculously by the God in heaven or the Son of God. I pray in the name of Jesus Christ, and I pray to God also. So, you know, take it upon yourself, believe, apply your faith that kind of way because it's definitely real. Definitely real, man. I know my uncle used to say a long time ago, make sure you're saved, son. Make sure you're saved. Get that Holy Spirit. Pray to God, fill you. Tarry and pray to God, fill you with that precious Holy Spirit so you can speak in tongues with angels. And true. I did accept Christ, my Lord and Savior, upon my sins, and I did pray for the Holy Ghost, and God gave it to me. Call them Holy Rollers. The Holy Rollers there. People make fun of Holy Rollers. You know, they see people in church, you see them on cartoon sketches, they jumping around, they shouting, and they faking. You can fake it, like monkey see, monkey do, but you faking it, but you don't fake it, don't feel the spirit on it, but the person doing it, they feel the spirit of God on them and all that. You know, that's the way that thing go. Some people think what's fake is real, man. And the Holy Ghost is real, man. So, real deal. So, I'm gonna end my stream now. 1:48 in the morning. I'm about to get up and do it again in a little bit. So, everybody stay tuned to me and stayed up with me. Thank goodness for it. I'm always trying to give you the best. Always give you something good. Like I said, told you about the business, told you salvation, told you about a lot of good things. So, marriage, wife, and children, what's important. You know? That's all I can do. So until next time, I'll see you guys later. Let me see if I can, what I gotta do here.